So dear children, yesterday we have seen what are the steps has to be followed to find the equilibrium constant. Today, relationship between equilibrium constant K, reaction coefficient Q and Gibbs energy. What do you mean by Gibbs energy? The total maximum energy which is available in the system is known as Gibbs energy. So Gibbs free energy change and reaction coefficient are related as delta G is equal to delta G naught plus 2.303 RT log QC. This is the Gibbs free energy change in reaction coefficient. So delta G is the free energy, delta G naught plus 2.303 R gas constant, T temperature, QC is the reaction coefficient. So delta G dot is the standard Gibbs energy. At equilibrium, delta G is equal to 0 and QC is equal to Kc. Kc is the equilibrium constant. QC is the reaction coefficient. So on substituting value of delta G equal to minus 2.303 RT log Kc. So we have to substitute the delta G value here. So finally we will get delta G 0 is equal to RT log Kp. So from that we can find out log K. So log K is equal to delta G naught by RT. So taking log on both sides, we get K is equal to E minus delta G naught by RT. This is equation. So the problem will be related to this equation. So the above equation is helpful for predicting the spontaneity of the reaction. Whether these reactions happen, how it happened, that shows that. So delta G is less than 0 minus delta G naught by RT is positive and E minus delta G by RT is more than 1 and hence K more than 1. It means that the reaction occurs spontaneously in the forward direction or products predominate over reactants. Products will be more. So forward reaction happen. When the forward reaction happen, when the delta G naught, that means free energy is less than 0 and K is more than 1, then the forward reactions happen. So if the delta G naught is greater than 0, minus delta G naught by RT is negative and E minus delta G by RT is less than 1 and hence the K value is less than 1. So during the time not spontaneous in forward reaction, that is product side, but spontaneous in reverse direction, that is reactants predominate over products or the reactions occur rarely. So when this K is less than 1, the reactions occurs rarely. That means non-spontaneous in forward reactions occur. So related to the problem is there, hydrolysis of sucrose. So sucrose plus H2O. On hydrolysis of sucrose, we'll get glucose and fructose. The equilibrium constant Kc for the reaction is given, that is 2 into 10 to the power 13 at 300 Kelvin. So we have to calculate delta G at 300 Kelvin. Which formula we have to apply? Delta G naught is equal to minus RT log Kc. So delta G naught is equal to minus RT. Minus RT, R value is 8.314 joule per mole per Kelvin. T value they have given 300 Kelvin. Log K value they have given 2 into 10 to the power 13. So log 2 into 10 to the power 13. So if you calculate, we'll get that value minus 7.64 into 10 to the power 4 joule per mole. Next one, calculate delta G and the equilibrium constant for the formation of the NO2 from NO and O2 at 298 Kelvin. So we have to calculate delta G, the equilibrium constant for the formation of NO2 from NO and O2. So NO2 is the reactant, NO2 from product NO and O2 is the reactant. So NO in gaseous state of O2 gaseous state. At equilibrium, the product is NO2 gaseous state, where the delta G, formation of delta G NO2 is equal to 52 kilojoule per mole. So delta F, delta G0 for NO is equal to 87.0 kilojoule per mole. So delta formation of O2 is 0 kilojoule per mole. So this value is given. We have to calculate delta G and equilibrium constant for this reaction. So calculate delta G by using the formula. Delta G is equal to epsilon delta G formation of product minus reactants. So P products and R reactants. Calculate the equilibrium constant by using the formula delta G naught minus 2.303 RT log Kc. Now let us come to the solution. Solution. First write the equation. NO plus of O2 gives NO2. Delta G for reactants epsilon, delta G formation product minus reactants. Delta G for reactants in this formation of NO2 minus this delta G, that means formation of NO plus of delta O2. So when we are taking this free energy, the free energy of product minus reactants. What is the product? This is the product. What are the reactants? NO and O2 are the reactants. So we are finding the Gibbs energy. So delta R for reactants Gibbs 0 is 52.0 minus 87 plus 1 by 2 into 0. The value is given in the sum. That means the delta G of NO2, delta G of NO, everything is given the value. Directly we have to substitute that value in this formula. So now we will get this delta G for reactants, that is minus 35.0 kilojoule per mole. Next for reactants of G0, that is minus 2.303 RT log Kc. Now we have to calculate the Kc. We found this G0. Now we have to calculate Kc. So minus 2.303 RT log Kc minus 35,000 joule per mole. So substitute all the value. R value you have to substitute, T value you have to substitute, and log Kc. So log Kc is equal to 35,000 by 5,705 is equal to 6.134. So Kc is equal to anti-log of 6.134. So we'll get the answer in such a way. So log and anti-log also, by using log book we have to see that. So by using this formula we can calculate delta G naught. Next another one problem, Kp for the reaction. We have to calculate the equilibrium pressure for this reaction. Partial pressure for the reaction. N2 3H2 gives 2 NH3 at 400 C. At 1.64 atmosphere, find Kc. Also calculate delta G naught by using Kp and Kc values. So first we have to write this chemical equation and we have to find out the delta N, product minus reactants, 2 product and 4 reactants, here 3 and here 1, so minus 2. So Kp is equal to Kc RT delta N. So Kp they have given 1.64. Kc we have to calculate R value 0.0821 liter atmosphere, 400 degrees Celsius, so that 673 Kelvin. Now we have to calculate the Kc. So Kc is equal to divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power divided by this value. So we will get this value. Now delta G we have to calculate. Delta G formula is equal to minus 2.303 RT log K. So K is equal to Kp into delta G. So Kp we have found 2.303 into 8.314 into 673 Kelvin into log 1.64 into 10 to the power 4. By substituting the value, you are getting this value. If K is equal to Kc, then delta G naught is equal to minus 2.303 into 8.34 673 log 0.5372. This value we have to substitute for Kc. So we are getting this. If delta G is positive, then K is less than 1 and the reaction will be non-spontaneous in forward direction. Next one, factors affecting equilibrium. It is there in your textbook also. What are the factors affect the equilibrium? Page number 201. Change in concentration. Factors from which the state of equilibrium is affected. Change in concentration of reactants and product. Change in temperature. Change in pressure. Addition of inert gas. Addition of catalyst. So these all those factors will affect the equilibrium. So this change above mentioned factors were decided by using Le Chatelier principle. So Le Chatelier principle. What is Le Chatelier principle? According to this principle, if any of the factors that determine the equilibrium condition of a system, that is temperature, pressure, concentration, is changed, the system will move in such a direction so that effect of the change is reduced or nullified. That means any factors, these factors that will determine the equilibrium condition. So if the system is changed, equilibrium condition of a system is changed, then what happened to the system? The system will move in such a direction so that of the change is reduced or nullified. So it will move from the equilibrium status. So it can reduce or it can nullify. Nullified means it became nil. So the law is true for almost all physical and chemical equilibria. Thus the effect of various factors on the state of equilibrium according to Le Chatelier principle. First one, effect of concentration. So reactant and product are there. By shifting the net reaction, the directions were added to the substance consumed. So concentration, due to the addition of reactant and product, what happened? That direction will change. If you increase the reactants, product will be more. If you increase the product, reactants will be more. So the concentration stress due to removal of reaction product is relieved by shifting of the net reaction. So change in concentration, either reactants or products shift the reaction in such a direction in which the effect of change is minimized or nullified. Next, effect of pressure change. So in a concentration of effect of concentration change, products or reactants are changing. You let us take this example. Any of the reactants or products or in a reaction at equilibrium is changed. H2 plus I2 give 2I HI. H2 is added to the reaction mixture. Then equilibrium of the reaction is disturbed. So if HI is added, the equilibrium of the system is disturbed. So if H is added, the reaction shift to formation of HI. This is in accordance with the Le Chatelier principle. So new equilibrium will be set up. So effect of addition of hydrogen on change of concentration for the reactants and product. Here hydrogen iodide, iodine, hydrogen. So they are in equilibrium. So once we are changing the concentration with the time, reactions direction will change. When hydrogen is added to the time and next to the time, the equilibrium has changed. Now all are in equilibrium. If hydrogen is added, look at this. This curve shows that the equilibrium is changed. Once it has consumed, again equilibrium re-established. Once again it will form the equilibrium status. Next one, effect of pressure change. Increase in pressure shift the equilibrium. So when the number of moles of the gas or pressure increases and vice versa, decreases and vice versa. So increase in pressure shift the equilibrium in that the direction where the number of moles of the gas or pressure decreases and vice versa. That means this is because with increase in pressure the volume of system decreased and hence the value of QC decreases. So value of QC is less than Kc. Quotient is less than Kc when if we increase the pressure. So thus in order of reactive equilibrium, the reactions proceed in the forward direction. Reaction proceed in the forward direction. Next one, effect of inert gas addition. So inert gas can be added to an equilibrium mixture under two conditions, at constant volume, at constant pressure. So inert gas does not take part in reaction. So equilibrium remain unaffected. So if the volume is kept constant, this is because at a constant volume, the partial pressure or the molar concentration of the substance involved in the reaction remain unchanged. So the reaction will remain unchanged at constant volume of the noble gas at constant pressure. So inert gas is added, the volume process will increase. So the equilibrium shift to the direction where the increase in the number of moles of the gases. Next one, the effect of temperature change. So exothermic reaction means delta H is negative, if endothermic reaction positive. So in a exothermic reaction, the equilibrium constant decrease with rise in temperature. So reaction proceed backward direction. In case of endothermic reaction, delta H is positive, the equilibrium constant increase with rise in temperature and hence the reaction moves in forward direction. So next one, effect of catalyst. Catalyst is a substance which take part in a chemical reaction which induce the rate of the reaction or will reduce the rate of the reaction. So the rate of reaction by providing new pathway of lowering activation energy. So it affects the both forward and backward reaction, hence no effect on the state of equilibrium. However, the presence of catalyst, the equilibrium is achieved in lesser time. So catalyst will help to achieve the equilibrium in lesser time. For effect of concentration, effect of pressure change, effect of inert gas addition, effect of temperature change, everything textbook along with that example is there. Application of here, effect of varying conditions of the equilibrium. So this is an equation. A plus B gives C plus D. So the delta N of gas is equal to C plus D minus A plus D. In such a way, change imposed on the system in equilibrium. Concentration of A or B increased, then equilibrium move towards right. So equilibrium constants will not change. Concentration of C and D increased, equilibrium move left. So no change occur. If pressure increased, the equilibrium move right to the right side, forward reaction. Then delta Ng is negative. If the pressure is increased to left, if delta Ng is positive. So no change if C plus D is equal to A plus B and delta Ng is equal to 0. So during that time also equilibrium constants no change. Next one, temperature increased. So if the temperature is increased to the left, if delta H is negative, it is exothermic. To right, it shift to right. If delta H is positive, it is endothermic. So the value decreased. Equilibrium achieved faster in the presence of catalyst due to that. So addition of catalyst, no change, equilibrium achieved faster. Addition of inert gas at constant pressure, it moved to the direction of increasing gaseous moles, no change. So at constant volume, no effect, no change occur. So this is a brief of this effect of conditions of equilibrium. Next, applications of Le-Chatelier's principle. It is favorable conditions, formation of HI, Haber process, synthesis of ammonia, manufacture of sulfuric acid by contact process, manufacture of nitric acid, melting of ice, boiling of water. This all the one are applications of Le-Chatelier principle. So if a reaction has a small catalyst would be little help. So effect of temperature, applications of Le Chatelier principle we have seen. This point is important for application level. What happens when concentration of A and B is increased? It moves to the right side. C and D is increased, left side. If pressure is increased, equilibrium move to right. If CD is less than, product is less than reactant, that is delta Ng is negative. It move to left when product is more than reactant, then delta G is positive. No change at all when both are equal, reactants and product are equal. During that time delta Ng is equal to number of moles of gaseous is equal to 0. So temperature increase means what happened? Negative means exothermic, positive means endothermic. So addition of catalyst, no change, but what happened? Equilibrium achieved faster. Look at the applications. Formation of HI, hydrogen, iodine, 2HI, high concentration, unaffected by pressure change, low reaction temperature, no effect of addition of inert gas. Haber process, preparation of ammonia, N2 gaseous state, 3H2 gaseous state, 2NH3. So delta H is given. So high concentration of N2H2, high pressure as Ng is -2, low temperature at the reaction is exothermic, although low temperature favor the formation of ammonia. Next is sulfuric acid. Manufacture of sulfuric acid. SO2 plus O2 gives SO3. Case is given. So here what are the condition? Increased pressure, high concentration, low concentration, low temperature. Next, manufacture of nitric acid. Melting of ice. So forward react change is accompanied with absorption of heat and decrease in volume. Hence, on applying Le Chatelier principle, the favorable condition for the melting of ice are high pressure as forward reaction is endothermic and high pressure as forward reaction shows the decrease in volume. In boiling water, favorable conditions, vaporization of water or high temperature and low pressure. So these are the application of Le Chatelier principle. Learn the effect of Le Chatelier principle and the conditions of change in effect.